What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Wally Outdoors. On today's episode, I got the yak loaded up again. Pretty excited. I'm gonna meet up with some friends and maybe do some fishing. Temperatures are gonna reach about 50 today. It's still in the 40s right now. Water temps, I'm expecting it to be pretty cold still. But yesterday we had a high like 70, and the peep frogs, if those of you that call them that, the peep frogs were out last night going crazy. They've been going for the last couple weeks, but last night they were really going at it hard, so that tells me that the water temperatures are coming up and things are starting to heat up, so it should be pretty good. Just want to go over my gear and what I'm using today. I know I don't do enough of that, I feel like, so I'm going to show you guys what I got going on. So from start to finish here, let me just set this down. This is actually my battery I use to charge my GoPro. It's an Anchor battery. It lasts about 2 days actually on a full charge, so I can run my GoPro probably for like 16 hours or better and never have to worry about it. So that's going to be attached to me when I'm sitting in the kayak. Anyhow, here's the kayak for those of you who haven't seen it. It's the old town. She's all ready to go in the smoke color. I got a new anchor system rigged up I'm going to try out. Been kind of messing with this. This is basically just a comes from dive. It's a dive reel. Divers use it to let their buoy up when they're above them while they're diving, so it's a safety thing, but it works great as a kayak, for a kayak anchor to hold your line. So got that. I got the rod tubes here. I got my crate that I built. I know I've talked about this in the past, but I didn't really show much of it. Eventually going to paint the top of this too, but yeah, basically I just cut the top off another one, and then I drilled some holes here down the back side, and you just put some zip ties in there, man. That holds it on like that gives me a latch. I can't fit the big like 3700s in here, but it does work. It does the job. And this is gonna get painted at some point too, but this is my rod holder, so tubes I put on here. So that works out pretty good. Moving forward, got your seat, very comfortable. Picked up a donkey leash for this season. These things are invaluable, I tell you. They're just like, having them's awesome. I got the new net, which you can't see now. I did make this stakeout pole myself. This is pretty cool for those of you guys on a budget like me. Went down to Home Depot, just got a T-handle here for the end of it. This is an 8-foot tomato stake, and it's gonna work out pretty good. I used it the other day just to try it out, but I think it's gonna work good. I am limited to how deep, I should say, I can go with that. It's a little bit windy out here today. I'm hoping it's not too bad on the water. So moving forward, I made up a bunch of my own leashes here for different things. I may do a video on that, but there's a million videos out there for this. But I made leashes for my pliers, leashes for my board, to my measuring board here, my hog trough. Going up here, this is what I used to hang on to my net, guys. These are awesome, these little Roto Grips. So I set my net in here. There's a lot of other people out there that use these too, but they're really cool and they work great. My net in particular, I'll show it to you if you can see it here, but I had to wrap the net with some Gorilla Tape because when I put it inside here, it doesn't necessarily fit in there without it. So I wanted to grip the net a little bit better, especially if I got a fish in there and I'm just gonna get my board ready to measure them and stuff. I don't want them, you know, flopping over and the net falling off the boat. So anyhow, I made some pretty cool things too. I'll have to show you here in just a second. I put this is my GoPro mount. I've kind of moved around the boat. I'm still trying to find out where I really want it, but so far that's the place I've enjoyed having it the most. So that's what I'm gonna do there. Got my hatch here. I know it's kind of tough, but let's see if you can see it in here. My battery's inside. Battery's inside the compartment there. It's all wired back. And I'll show you something else that's really awesome here real quick. I gotta give a shout out to Navarre kayak fishing down there in Florida. This guy, I tell you what, he's made some awesome products. Couple things that I bought for my kayak in particular. This right here, this little handle that replaces the old, this handle here, it replaces the old handle. Just take these two screws out, goes in there. What it's got is this gear track right here. So obviously you see I got this Scotty mount here, which I can put my fish finder in, which is amazing because it keeps it closer to me. So when I'm sitting over here on the boat and I'm up here, the screen's right here, and it's out of the way of my rod holder. It's out of the way of everything up here. I kind of move stuff around as I go, but I found that not having anything on the side of my gunnels each side is awesome, because if you're fighting a fish on either side of the boat, you don't want to have any issues there. So yeah, having this here is huge. So I didn't do any cuts or holes or put anything in the boat. I know you can technically, for rigging fish finders and stuff. Old Town's warranty is good, but I just personally don't want to put extra holes in my boat. So the way I have mine wired, it just comes up through the hatch there underneath that plate in the front, comes down through here, as you can see, and I came up through this plate here. You got these plates that Old Town came up with, and the newer boats from 220 on have the gear tracking in them already, which is cool. So I just ran that wire up through here. It comes up this way and around, and it doesn't get in the way of my rod holder here, and then it hooks into my fish finder here, which is awesome. Pretty sweet. So yeah, big shout out to him. I also got a from him a prop wrench for my pedal drive too. Trying to have a tough time getting my words out today, I know. But yeah, the pedal drive, he's got a floating wrench so that when you're on the water, if you have an issue, you can just take the wrench out of your, because you get inside the compartment for your pedal drive. I store my extra prop and things that I need. I have shear pins, stuff like that, safety things in case I'm out on the water somewhere, especially out on the salt or something where I might have to change it out. It's pretty sweet. But I might show you that, guys, when I hit the water. I'll be able to pull that out and show you guys what it is all about. And yeah, I always keep my cutters here. I attach those to my seat, have them ready to rock all the time. Pliers, everything's ready to go. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked, man. I went to Harbor Freight, got this. This was something I picked up from this past fall. I wanted that bed extender there, and I just grabbed some cheap reflectors. I may wind up putting some lights on here. Depending on your state, check out your laws, guys. You don't know what's going on with that. Always get some kind of flag here too. Right now I have a rag, but I'm gonna get a better reflective flag for that. There's a few more things that I've done that you know, I haven't talked about too much. This cart here is a Malone cart. This is their heavy duty hauler. This is one of the biggest cart pretty much that Malone makes. And for this boat, this is a heavy kayak. I think it's like 130 pounds, and that's not with anchor and other gear too that I load into it. Once I have everything on there and I'm pulling it down to the water, it's pretty heavy. So this cart is awesome. The cart is heavy too, but what I wind up usually doing is I can store it in the hatch. I can put these wheels will fit in the hatch. So if you guys are wondering about this cart and you're not sure, these wheels will fit in this hatch, and then I can strap the actual cart down to the back of the kayak. So right here I have these quick pins. Wheels come right off nice and easy, and they store right inside the hatch, no problem. It doesn't look like they'll fit in there, but they go in there not too bad. It's heavy, that's the only problem. You're gonna put more weight on the kayak taking it out. So most places I fish, I'm able to bring the cart back to my truck and lock it up. So that's what I do, and it works out good for me. That's pretty much it. I gotta say another shout out to a good buddy of mine, Tommy, who you guys seen on the channel. He hooked me up with some of this stuff here, if you guys know what that is right there. But that's fire hose, and it's awesome stuff because it's like indestructible. So I use that for the front here. It kind of saves the front of my kayak, so it's not smashing up against the front of my truck there, because I noticed when the first couple of trips I was getting a little bit of scratching on the bow there, and I don't want to do that. The other thing I did, which is probably the most important and crucial part of why he gave me the hose, was this right here. Pretty neat. So these cheaper extenders, these bed extenders, don't come with any type of, you know, padding or anything on there. I've seen everybody use like things like poo noodle and all kinds of stuff. Basically all I did, I took some of this hose here and I left the rubber inside of it. You guys can see that here. I'll show you. The rubber's right still inside of there, and what I did was I just cut the size piece that I needed that would fit the hull here, and I drilled holes on each side, and then I just zip tied it on there. So now it won't slide, it won't turn, it won't come off. When I put the boat on and off, it works really good. It's awesome. Great idea. And if you can find some extra fire hose from the local fire department or somebody that has some, it's just like the best thing. I don't know. I couldn't believe the idea when he told me about it. He's like, hey, I want to try this. And then I thought about it and put it on there. I'm like, wow, this is really going to save my hull over time. Because you do get scratching here. You know, it's a kayak. It's going to wear time over time. But yeah, why not save it for as long as you can? So anyhow, that's going to be like my overview of the kayak. I'm going to be hitting the water here very shortly. So I might make this a two-part series. I might actually just do this for my setup, my rig for the kayak. My next video for rigging the kayak, I might talk more about my gear, my rods, the things I'm using for the season and everything else. So stay tuned for that. But otherwise, see you on the water. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing so. If you have any questions, comments, things you want me to do, suggestions for videos, put those down in the comments. Hit that notification bell so that once you're subscribed, you can see my future videos. For now, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, guys.